Hey guys, it's your favorite one guy here coming at you with a discussion video. Today we're going to talk about ban lists. Do we need one? When are we going to get ours? What cards do I want to see? What cards should we kind of be thinking about? And how do we know from previous Bandai games what the pattern is going to look like? So let's take a dive, shall we? So, do we need a ban list right now? Short answer, no. Not right now. Not at this second. Right? But most card games in their lifetime, whether it be Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic, One Piece, Digimon, just to name a few, do develop a ban list over time. My question is, when will we get our ban list? So let's take a dive and see. If we take examples from previous Bandai games, such as the Digimon card game, and then we'll also look at One Piece, we can kind of, not so much create a pattern, but see something forming, right? And that's what I want to really get at. While it's not definitive, it is something that we're going to be like, you know what? Bandai as a company would probably want to keep all their card games in a similar flow when it comes to their bans and restrictions, to where when they start releasing the tournaments and everything, because that's what they do. A lot of the tournaments happen at the same time, so they're gonna be like, you know what? Let's just do like a blanket. Here's all your guys' ban list and restriction list. So with that, let's look at Digimon first. Because Digimon is the oldest, it did start in 2020, but the first ban list wasn't until 2023 to early 2024. Again, almost 3 years in its start, and in between that, they had 15 launches, 15 set launches, right? So 15, pretty much similar to our GDO1s. That's what they had, right? So they did a lot, and I believe their notable ban for this one was like that Greymon card. I don't know which one. I think it was like an antibody Greymon or something like that. I don't know. If you guys do know or would like to instruct me on the history of this wonderful card game, let me know. I've been interested in hopping into Digimon. I just haven't done it because I'm just kind of like, I'm focusing on Gundam. But yeah, I wouldn't mind diving into other card games. You name the card game and I'll start trying to make product or try to do content for that in the future, okay? Next, we're going to talk about One Piece. So that game started in late 2022. First ban list was early 2024. Almost about 2 years since the initial release of One Piece, and in between that time, they did release 5 sets as well as 10 starter decks. So okay, if Digimon was 3 years, almost 3 years, closer to like almost 4, and then One Piece is 2, and that's when they kind of got a little serious. Bandai, the company, got a little serious when it came to that. It's safe to assume that we also might be following in that pattern. So what does that mean for us Gundam players? It means that our ban list is probably going to be within late 2026 or early 2027, given the current rate at which this card game is going. Because I believe GDO3 is coming out within the next 2 weeks or so. Then GDO4, I remember the roadmap was like in early summer, and then towards the winter and fall it was going to be GDO5, right? And in between that time, I believe we would have starter deck 10, if I'm not mistaken. We gotta look at. I would have to look at that roadmap, but I believe that's kind of the road that we're heading towards, right? So okay, cool. So we kind of have like a small little roadmap towards it, right? But what kind of ban list do I want? That's the next question. Oh, that's the question I'm presuming myself, I guess. Is what kind of things do I want to see on the ban list? So personally, I don't feel that we need to outright ban all cards. I mean, there's one card I want to talk about that really needs to be looked at. And that's just because of how I feel it's unfair or oppressive, and just how much this card is constantly, in a sense, winning with the lack of better terms, in my eyes, right? But I do believe we should restrict cards. Yeah, some cards do need to be slightly pulled back a little bit. Prime example will probably be I guess Wing Zero would be good. And besides, we kind of already limit that. No one's no longer, unless you're straight up running a straight dedicated wing deck, you're not running more than maybe like 3 wings. Like, yeah, there used to be time where there was 4, but I believe now the meta shifted to where it's like 3, 2, because while it's a great card and it's a good top end, sometimes it clogs the hand, and then you're just kind of like, oh, dude, I need a different card, or it should have been a different card. But there have been 2 cards circulating in my locals that people have been talking about that they do want to kind of see be banned or kind of eroded, and those 2 are our wonderful pair, Armoro and Kira, right? So Armoro, I believe Armoro shouldn't be banned or limited, only because he is the epitome, right? In the starter deck, the pilots are always good pilots. They're like pretty much known as the best pilots, and he is in 90% of the decks. He's in purple, blue, ping. He's in 1 Year War. He's in blue, white, good stuff. So yes, Armoro Ray is in almost a lot of decks, and his effect is just that good, right? The fact that it is, you get to choose an enemy unit with 5 or less HP and rest it. But he also is kind of like the best that blue is, right? If that makes any sense. Like he's like, I wouldn't say the epitome, but he kind of illustrates that in a sense, right? He's the best card you can get in blue with the best effect that blue has to offer, right? Because blue is known for resting units, pinging them, and then drawing cards, right? It'd be a little bit different if, I would say it'd be broken if it was like Armoro rests a card and then draws you a card, right? And then you're like, at that point, you're like, damn, this guy's really good actually. Never mind. That's what's broken, right? If he had like kind of like 2 effects, I feel like other than that, it's a well-balanced card. Restricted, maybe, but at the same time, it's that he plays into a strategy, right? You want to help, you want to rest units, that way you can have a clear shot of clearing their problematic unit, right? So, and at the cost of Armoro at times, right? So sometimes when you trade in, you lose Armoro, other times you don't, and then, you know, Gundam, you know, repairs itself, but it takes a while. The other card is Kira, right? So Kira is, I believe, what White wants to do, right? So he embodies the White trait, right, where it's the minus AP, so he's kind of a controller, right? Putting these 2 together, yeah, of course it's oppressive, right? It's 2 control cards, right? But that's the same thing as like having like counterspell and then having an offer you can't refuse in your deck, right? Those 2 are magic cards. Counterspell literally counters a spell. An offer you can refuse counters the spell, but then gives your opponent 2 treasures, right? One is 2 blue, the other one is one blue, but it's still, they still function as the same. It's still a control card, right? Or the same thing as unsummon and counterspell. There you go. That'd be better, because unsummon bounces, counterspell counters, right? So Kira and White, you do want to do that. You do want to be controlling. You want to minus the AP. You want to bounce cards, and then you want to dig your deck, right? Those are, I believe, the 3 key functions of what White offers you, right, as a player. But there is one card I definitely want to see on the ban list. I want this card gone, and that is the mother flippin' Wing Gundam from the starter deck. And that is because this guy is strong. I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken, he's, hold on, let me do some research real quick, because I believe this man is, I want to say he's like 5, or is he 6? Either way, he's the cost is 4. Doesn't matter if he's 5 or 6. His cost is 4, and I believe he's a 5/5, right? And then he can choose and this is what I think is broken, right? Is the fact that he can choose an active enemy unit level 4 or lower, whether he's paired or not. Meaning he can just kind of next turn swing into you, and he can't get targeted because he's a 5, right? So he kind of, you know, Armoro, yeah, but you need Armoro in hand to rest it. Other than that, though, this man, on the turn that he summoned, a lot of times they're gonna have the hero, right? They're gonna slap the hero, and they're gonna swing in. They're gonna probably target one of your blockers that you're hoping for, you know, and they're gonna kill it. They're gonna straight up kill it, and it's got breach 5. Meaning that not only are they going to kill it, they're going to kill your base. There is not a lot of decks out there, unless you're in the mirror with green to have the 6, or you're in red for the 6 HP base, And that's until we get more bases with different levels of HP. That's why I feel that this card needs to be banned, because he's just so unfair to the game that he's just constantly swinging in, killing something, and then doing 5 breach damage. Either they need to change the rule of breach to where it's more of like a piercing effect, meaning that any excess damage goes onto, you know, the shield area, or they would need to errata this guy, you know, to where his breach isn't as powerful. But again, I understand, same reason why I was talking about Kira and Amuro being their cornerstones of what they want to do. That's the same thing with this. Green is the only, you know, there are some cards with breach, but this is the only color that's known for their breach, right? Like a lot of units have breach that are in green, so I can see that. But my thing is, the 2 that we're talking about earlier, they're pilots, meaning that I still need a unit to attach them to get their effect, right? This mofo, on the other hand, just straight up just kind of goes, oh, I can just do whatever the fuck I want, I'm gonna hit you, right? And you have nothing to do but say, please sir, can I have another hit, right? Because he's gonna hit something that's weak, and if he's paired with white, he's probably gonna hit something, maybe even, you know, unforeseen, that to where it's reduced the you know, the oncoming AP to where he's not gonna take a smack, and you're gonna go, cool, next time I'm gonna smack him, but he might, you know, again, it's in white, so he's probably gonna have blockers, you know, it's green white, so he's probably gonna have blockers, and so you're just kind of like, dang, dude, this is an uphill battle for me just to clear 1 card. You know, there are times where I feel like this is way better than Wing. Wing 0, in my opinion, is a balanced card in the sense that it is 8/8, so it comes at a way later turn, right? And so you kind of already know and can prepare yourself mentally, like, okay, the guy's running green, he's going to probably swing in with a huge, you know, 8/8, and it's gonna probably clear my board. And from there, you know, that kind of forces you to either just swing with everything and then pray to God that you can reduce their shields, but and so you have enough resources in your hand to where you can pretty much close out the game, or you just kind of peter out and just die to Wing, right? So that's my personal opinion. I think this guy just straight ban him. I didn't want to do it too loudly. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning here in California, and I have kids and they're sleeping. So that's all the things. So yeah, main reason, you know, Jesus, I didn't even skip there. I just went straight into the rant because that's how upset I am about this fucking card. But yeah, so it doesn't need to be linked or paired to have its effect. It just happens, you know, and it still has breach 5. So, but anyways, that's what I have to say. What are some cards you guys want to see banned? Right? What are cards that you feel that are so oppressive in your guys' format that you're like, I hate this card, right? Please leave a comment down below. You know, this is a discussion. I want us to talk about this, right? We still have about like another another year or so before we actually have this ban list come out. So I want to know. You know, am I crazy? Is this Unc just lost his mind and he's just so laser focused on hating this one particular card that he would rather see it banned than restricted? Or am I cooking here? What do you guys think? Please, again, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Jeez, the delay on this thing.